Agreement in principle is the first thing you need if you are looking to get on a property ladder. If you want to get a mortgage, agreement in principle is what you need, AIP. Now, this agreement in principle can be obtained through your mortgage broker. Now, I want you to listen carefully to this so that you will understand it, because my DM is all filled up with people telling me, oh, I'm interested in a house in Doncaster. I'm interested in one in Sheffield. I'm interested in one in Southampton. That is not the first step you need to take. Now, the first step you need to take, as soon as you know you're ready, okay, you've got enough deposit on ground that you want to use, the very first step you will take is to consult a mortgage broker, mortgage advisor. This mortgage broker or advisor is going to assist you to run the eligibility and affordability checks. Now, these checks include whether you're going to be able to afford this or whether you are eligible for it. There are basic factors that they will put into consideration before you can get AIP. Now, this AIP is the amount of money some lenders are willing to borrow you. Now, get this very clear. The AIP does not mean that your mortgage has been approved. Okay? Based on what you have told the mortgage broker, an AIP will be generated based on what you have told them. After you have agreed to go ahead with the mortgage, then the mortgage advisor will now proceed to help you to apply for the mortgage. Okay? Now, listen very attentively to this. It's very, very important. When you are dealing with your mortgage broker is like somebody you need to speak heart to heart with. You must tell your mortgage broker everything about you. How much you earn, what bills you're paying, what debt you are into. Do you have a car finance? You have these. You have to tell them everything so that they will be able to run a complete and a comprehensive checks for you so that they will be able to generate that AIP. Don't lie. If you have a car on finance, just tell them. If you are owing a bank, just tell them. If you are owing some amount of money on credit card, tell your mortgage broker so that they will know the exact thing to put in details when they are trying to rep you to run the checks to come up with the AIP. This is really, really important, because if you lie in any area, it's going to affect you when they are now trying to submit the mortgage application, because then you're going to submit some of the things that they need you to submit. Now, have this at the back of your mind, because oftentimes you see a property on the street level, maybe in Doncaster, Sheffield, Southampton, Wolverhampton, different places across England. It's not the first thing to say, okay, I want this. The first thing is for you to consult a mortgage broker. And I've recommended Gledeals. Oftentimes I've recommended them. They are very, very good. Gledeals, independent mortgage specialist. They are very, very good to the latter. You understand? Consult them first once you know you're ready. If you are going to go into joint purchase or you want to buy as an individual, just consult them. Let them run checks for you. At least there's nothing wrong in trying it to know how much a lender is even willing to borrow you based on who you are, based on your level, based on what you currently represent in the country. You understand? So put all those factors into place and make sure that you are getting a mortgage advisor first to help you to run the checks before you come to me. The only services I can render for you is to assist you to look for property in different areas, different locations, and then I would tell you my service charge. Okay, because I'm not going to be running helter-skelter for you for free of charge. You understand? I can tell you where there are properties and how you can get them, how cheap they are, their prices. But then for me to be able to go on further outside of this video that I'm doing, then you will have to pay some amount of money for my own service. I'm still going to come to tell you some of these things you need to know, because if you are preparing yourself to get a mortgage, you understand there are certain things you need to put in place before you reach that level. You understand? Before you get to a particular level. First of all, let me clear this very well, because I've received about 3 questions, the same questions. People were trying to ask me if it's possible for them to buy a property being on visitor visa. You can't be on visitor visa in the UK and think you can buy or you can go on mortgage. That is not possible. The only way people that don't live in the UK can get a property in the UK is for them to buy outright. Okay, maybe if a property is £150,000, you are paying cash for that. Okay, so if you are on visitor visa, it is not possible for you to buy, to get on a mortgage, except you want to buy outright. That's completely different story entirely. You understand? So the essence of this video is for you to know that the very first thing you need to do is to find a mortgage broker, even if you're not going to use Gledeals or you're not going to use anybody that I have recommended, which is Gledeal. If you know any mortgage broker you want to use, go and use them. Let them run your checks first. Let them run your checks first. That is quite important. I don't know the reason why people keep coming to the DM to say, I want this, I like this, can I get this, can I get that? It is not bread now. It's not like, you know, we say we sell bread or we sell chin chin. Okay, you have to go through a whole lot of processes, but then not difficult processes. But I want to advise people in the UK, if you are currently paying rent, think of getting your own house, think of getting your own property, get on mortgage, because the amount of money you are paying on someone else's property, even if you lived in that property for 20 years, at the end of the 20th year, you're not owing anything. You know, nothing is yours. Everything you have paid on that, everything you have paid on rent is going towards the mortgage of that person. But then if you have yours and you are paying towards your own, every penny that you pay towards that, your own mortgage, is yours. You still be able to get something out of it, which is called the equity. This is really important. And I will continue to advise people that are currently living in the UK to think, whether you're living in the UK or anywhere you might be, maybe in the US, Canada, Australia, anywhere, think of your own property. All right. Think of your own property. There are people with 40 properties. There are people with 100. You'll be very surprised. So get your own mortgage broker. Let them run your checks for you to see how eligible and whether you can afford it. And I'll see you in the next video.